Yeah, man. Well, first, Todor, it's a real pleasure. Thank you. Real excited to play your game and dive more in. Like I said, I've had a brief look behind the scenes, and what I saw looks amazing. A little bit about me. I guess I'm just a Web3 gaming content creator. What does that mean? I started streaming about 2 years ago. Actually, a similar type of game is called ice poker, and that's where I got my name Iceyyy.
Oh, cool, bro. See,
Yeah,
there's something we didn't know.
yeah. And I got into the space. Well, first, let me back up a little bit. I've been in crypto since 2017. Read the Bitcoin white paper, fell in love with Ethereum, did all the ICO stuff, round tripped basically that whole cycle. Came back for 2020, all a DeFi summer. I really believe in like the values of what crypto and blockchain is trying to do, democratizing, decentralizing, giving power back to the people. That's stuff that I'm very passionate about and resonate. So I'm here. I'm in it for the tech, in it for the mission. Um, and then so I was in a private like alpha group doing a lot of DeFi degen stuff and came across like Web3 gaming. Kind of got my start with ice poker, and it really reignited that casual gamer in me from like being younger, and I just like really enjoyed it. So I started streaming because I was like, oh, hey, I can help people learn poker, learn, how to beat the game. If I'm going to play the game anyways, I might as well leverage the internet. So I started streaming and just really like understood that gaming was going to be the unlock for crypto. Gaming is what, the normies, as they say, are going to understand and get excited about and come in and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like blockchain's not so scary, or hey, there's some actual benefits to this. We can own our own assets, or we can have this open system where we can send things back and forth without censorship and all that stuff. So, yeah, wanted to play my small role in helping to push the space forward and bring attention and adoption to this space, which will hopefully benefit crypto broader. And I've been here for 2 years making content, connecting, building, and it's been a journey and a blast.
That's super cool, bro. By the way, I feel you. I got the same, basically the same crypto background. Got into it 2017, same Z's with that. Started mining Ethereum. I built the biggest Ethereum mining facility here in Bulgaria.
Wow.
It's had like 2,600 GPUs, something like that. Um, but yeah, I had a negative experience with Bitcoin before that, and the negative experience was that I didn't get in it whenever I had to. You know,
Yeah.
we've heard that story a thousand times. You know,
Yeah.
like some kids came and told me, dude, you got to get into this. It costs like I don't know what the fuck it was, man. It was something like $3 or something. You know, and I was like, what? You want my good goddamn green money for something that's gonna be like a cold or something like that? Get out of here, you know. So yeah.
I have a funny story about that, Todor. The first time I ever heard about Bitcoin was in 2013 with one of my poker buddies. I went to visit them, spent the weekend, and we are just, going out to the bars and whatnot. And one of my buddies was freaking out because he was like, just wanted to get into Bitcoin, but he didn't. And it had just mooned from $30 to $200. And he's like,
Oh
oh,
man,
it's too late. I missed it.
that's
And I,
it,
and I'm like, what's this Bitcoin? So like, I had no idea. I wish I was like, yo, let me grab some of that $200 Bitcoin.
bro. Then like whenever I missed it, that was like probably my first touch with Bitcoin was probably would have been like by the sound of the price of it. It would have been
Yeah.
probably 2010 or something
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
oh.
But like then whenever I missed that train, I became a hater. You know, I was like, motherfuckers, you know, you got your Bitcoin. That's it's the bubble's gonna pop any minute now. So I remember whenever the empty Gox thing happened,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I told you
Told you.
guys, you see this, like I told you, see, that's where it
Yeah.
got you. But then whenever the Ethereum came train, I was one of the first on it, you know. So that
Nice.
was a different story. But yeah, so You said going back to casual gaming from your younger days, man. How old are you?
I'm a little bit older than people think. I'm actually in my early 30s. I don't like to talk about it too much because it's gaming. I'm an old guy, all this stuff.
Dude, I
People,
am fucking 43, bro, and I
hey, you look
still
great.
make Chinese kids cry on Call of Duty every day, bro.
Hey,
Like,
I freaking love to hear that, man. You look good, dude.
dude, I'm all over this thing, man. You should like check this out. Hold on. Let me show you my fucking gaming rig right here. Look at this baby. You know? Look at this bad boy. There's no fucking about. I'm all into gaming, and a lot of people are like, dude, you're 43. What the hell are you doing still playing video games? How can you tell a non-gamer that games are not just video games? It's a way of life, man. I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get out of this. It's if you're a gamer, you're a gamer for life. Age isn't even a thing anymore. It's like you
Yeah.
either have it or you don't.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but cool. I want to see. I mean, I have a little bit of like mixed signals about what different people understand whenever they hear Web3 gaming, right? I mean, to you, what actually makes Web3 gaming like a Web3 sort of thing? What takes it away from everything else, and why is it different, and why is it cooler, and why do you sort of do it and promote? I mean, I get the decentralization part and like and all that, but what else?
Well, I have an issue with Web3 gaming actually because it's not decentralized. Game companies and projects are always going to be centralized for the most part. And I don't know if DAOs really, really work, right? They're very inefficient. So there's a lot to be figured out there. But to answer your question in a better way, Todor, like what do I love about Web3 gaming or like what is it? What makes it special? For me, I come back to a lot of the builders, right? Back in the Ethereum days and the ICO stuff, it's like the builders, the developers, like there's really passionate people that believe in something greater that want to use this new technology to make something cool in the world. And that's been my experience with a lot of the game developers that I've met and connected with and have followed in Web3 gaming. They see this technology, someone like Paul Bettner, right, who was the
Okay.
creator of Words with Friends and sold that for like $200 million or something like that, and now he's building a game called Wild Card, and he's been working on it for like 6 years. And when he came across blockchain, he was like, wow, this is everything that I've been looking for that can enable me to build the game that I've always wanted to build, where the community can come in and to have ownership and real stake in the game. And it's not about me, the developer, the publisher, benefiting 100% from all this, but I can share in that with the community. So it's people like that are using the technology in really interesting ways. I think we're still a little bit early. We're early. But I think that like the real use case and value proposition of Web3 gaming is still to be defined. But like I'm very encouraged and impassioned about the developers and the games that are trying things and experimenting, and it's a new frontier and a new landscape to design. And I fundamentally believe that the blockchain enables that peer-to-peer transaction, peer-to-peer exchange. And it's so hard to predict, right? 20 years ago, there were predictions of like what the internet was going to do and enable and whatnot, but like really hard to predict that TikTok was going to become a thing, and then some random child in India could go viral and change his entire life and make generational wealth for him and his family for making a dance on his
True.
phone, right? So that's what excites me about blockchain, because I think that 20 years from now, we're not even going to know what like or be able to predict what's going to come, but like amazing things will happen, and that's what excites me.
So for us, for instance, like we're building this TokaCity, which is um, an environment that the simplest way that I can explain what we're doing is we're building a GTA for adults only. I know that the GTA game has the 18 plus label on
Yeah,
it, but
yeah,
nobody gives a shit about that. You know, all the kids play it. I used to play it whenever I was young.
of
I mean,
course.
my brothers play it and they're like 10. So so yeah, but what we want to do is we want to create a more immersive platform where people can come, they can sort of enjoy different layers of entertainment through gambling, through actually meeting other people and having this whole world. And I'm trying, this is what I'm struggling with. I really, as a hardcore crypto fan, of course, I want to put as much of it on the blockchain as possible. And these are like things that we've been thinking about and we've been pursuing. So far, though, I have no way of actually sort of creating the Web3 dream and decentralizing it in a way. But what I can do is, for instance, for it to be more not transferable. Sorry, I'm missing the word. Transparent. So we
Yes.
want to put all of the gambling aspects on it on the blockchain so they can be validated, because this is something that the blockchain can be used for. But then putting every transaction on the blockchain is going to be costing a lot of money and obviously a lot of time, because even though blockchain is a super secure technology, it's not fast. So everything takes time. So what we came up with is like, we are going to be making a screenshot every minute of the whole platform, and that will be put on the blockchain so people can go back and validate all the bets they did, all the transaction of everybody. So
Nice.
that's a thing that we can do. But also, what is your opinion on like NFTs? Let's say like that's part of the Web3 evolution, let's call it. Like there was a lot of hype about it. A lot of people. I don't know if you got on that train. I
Mhm.
didn't. Like I wanted to, but I felt like they don't have enough value for me at the time whenever I started looking at them. So I never
Yeah.
got in there. Did you make anything out of that?
I'm actually right there with you, Todor. I did a little bit of the NFT stuff, right? I was actually part of like hash masks, and the digital art narrative was really interesting, but then it just like over exploded. But I faded a lot of it because I was like, what's the point, right? Like I don't get what you can do with it. And that's what struck me about Web3 gaming, because I had some NFTs that you could actually use in the game, and it was like a wearable in Decentraland. And I was like, oh, there's real utility here. There's like this fashion element, but also it's a pass to be able to play the game and, you know, earn, and the whole play to earn and everything. So I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. This is how NFTs could be used. You know, I struggle with the NFT space largely if it's just like art and everything. I think that, you know, the supposed utility, that still comes from companies and projects that like are promising you, you know, utility. And what I like about blockchain is that it's, you know, transparent, like you said, immutable, and you know, it's code is law. And you know, you're going to rely on a group of people to host an event that you're going to get a discount to, like, I don't know, you know. So I think the core prop of NFTs is a smart contract, right? That will enable a lot of really interesting things: escrow, receipts, titles and deeds to properties and things like that. There's still some probably issues, right? If you lose that, what happens, right? Um, so, you know, I'm split on NFTs. I think like obviously a lot of the space going down and like it was overhyped, overpriced, you know, needs to come back. But my main thesis, Toter, is like we're in the first inning of NFTs in Web3 gaming, similar to like the 2017 ICO phase, where a lot of things were
Yeah.
vaporware, but there was like a good proof of concept here. And out of that 2017 phase, you know, 3 years later in 2020, we got the DeFi phase where there was some real product there. We've got Uniswap, we've got Aave, you know, we've got these protocols that are actually being used and bringing real value. So I think that like the 2021 cycle of gaming and NFTs was at like that first generation. And I don't know, 2024, 2025, when these real games come out and this real utility comes and people figure out how to use this technology, we're going to see real product market fit. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's cool. So I'll tell you what we're doing, and you tell me what you think about that. So,
Yeah.
for instance, in one of our casinos, we've built a Bored Apes community lounge.
Yeah.
So the idea here is, if you have a Bored Ape NFT, we will build your avatar, like your 3D avatar, and rig it for free. So you come in, show us your NFT, we validate that you're the owner, we build you your avatar so you can run around our whole sort of universe, let's call it, with your Bored Ape, and you're going to be like one of the only Bored Apes will have access to this community lounge, where they have their own tables to play at. They have like a lounge area to sit and talk. And we are actually building it, because they've been talking about their metaverse for ages now, but nothing's happening there. And we are actually going to bring them this thing way before they actually get to have it. So this is one way of bringing a utility to already created communities around these Web3 projects. Another way that we're thinking about is streamers like yourself who have their own communities. For instance, there's a lot of iGaming streamers such as Rothstein, Trainwreck, a lot of these people that are working with stake.com.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking of giving them, like, they would have their own merch, which won't only be like fashion merch, but let's say Rothstein's hat, if you win it or buy it or however you get it, that would give you like a 0 or 10% cash back on all the money that you spend within the system, like within our game. So they will actually have like additional utilities that will bring you back, will give you more value and a competitive edge towards the game. So what do you think about these ways of you? Of course, we're not even talking about NFTs that we're gonna be like, you pay that much to get a picture of a monkey. You're actually paying to get the utility straight away, or getting it if you're a part of a Web3 community already.
I had a sneeze. I'm trying to fight off a sneeze, but I want to answer. I think it passed. Okay. No, I love that. I love that. You're providing an experience, right? And you're providing utility, and very similar. This is why I was very interested in TokaCity when we first connected, because I'm Ice Poker and Decentraland is very similar in some ways, experience wise, of what you guys are building. And I loved my experience in Decentraland, but the graphics aren't that great.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started, bro. Like, the graphics are,
it's wild. It's wild, right?
I mean, it hurts my eyes, bro. Like, if I stay there for 5 minutes, I get a migraine. It's just so bad. It looks like Wolfenstein 1.
I would never do it if there wasn't poker. My first experience was poker, and I'm like, oh, there's a casino here. Oh, the cards pop up, like, and the game played well enough, right? So as gamers, if the gameplay is fine, we'll deal with graphics and whatnot, right? Different things, we'll make exceptions for. So I enjoyed the poker in the casinos there, and that's what brought me in. And they have a similar thing where they've got certain NFT gated casinos, NFT gated experiences, and I love that experience, right? Like, that makes all the sense in the world to me. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a special place for these holders, and there's your value, there's your utility. So I think that's great. I think that if a Bored Ape holder could come into TokaCity and verify their ape and get their character in the game and then go have that experience, I don't know if it's like one-to-one interoperability, right? Because you have to design all that, and it's a very forgive me, I don't know enough about development, but I'm going to assume, maybe incorrectly, that it's a little bit of a closed environment, right? So as a Bored Ape holder, you have to you have to have an ecosystem where all these people develop for you and then give you that access. So it's not as open as like DeFi protocols, but it's a step in the right direction. And I love that, because also once you have that tech built out and that that stack, then you can replicate it for other games and other NFTs and continue building. So that's really exciting. And I mean, the most striking thing, Todor, is like your game looks beautiful. The engine looks great. And like, you know, casinos and gambling and all that stuff, like it is kind of a core, core aspect of our culture in crypto, right? So, and like one of the core value props of what a lot of people talk about, so I think it works a lot.
So I'll tell you how we got to this, man. Like it wasn't always the idea of TokaCity to be like a casino verse, as we call it now.
Ooh, I like that.
To begin with, the idea was that we're gonna build this amazing looking metaverse on Unreal 5 with amazing graphics, stream it through AWS services or Microsoft Azure, as we're doing now, and have it as a platform where people can like learn from each other, like the whole Web3 communities getting together, teaching, learning, having sessions on how to use DeFi protocols, how to sort of understanding how you can stack up your money, what's the best ways to do it, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, who's going to pay the bill for this whole thing getting developed? Who's going to pay the streaming services? By the way, we're paying for, in order to have the graphics that you see streamed, because our game plays in browser, same as Decentraland, but you get like GTA 5 looking graphics, that's the difference. Yeah. And the way that we make this happen is through using the Microsoft Azure infrastructure streaming. So you don't need to have the rendering power. You don't need to have a gaming PC. You could play this on an iPhone 5. Anything that has a screen and good internet connection, you get these graphics, you can run around, you can play all the games and all that. But then again, as I said, this costs us 70 cents per person per hour. Somebody's got to pick up that tab, it's not cheap because of the stuff that we're using. So then it was like a no-brainer, like what's the lowest hanging fruit? How can we get people to actually pay their way in? And then we start building on top of that. So of course, casino and people gambling and using that was the lowest hanging fruit from us. And this is why we pivoted in that direction to begin with.
It makes a lot of sense though, because I like that sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to comment that you're starting fundamentally with one, the experience that you want, and then two, the business model to deliver it, which I wish that more Web3 games, like there are some that are doing that and they're the ones that are succeeding and the ones that are not, kind of miss those two things. Right. So you're on the right approach there and respect.
I mean, I'm not giving up on the dream of having these educational elements and hosting these like parties and events where we can get people together in there and all that. But whenever we have the funding to actually upkeep this infrastructure, and then we can start doing these things on top of that. So we really needed to secure the funding, and this is how we decided to do it. And it's working out well so far. Awesome. Our overall idea and why we called this TokaCity is because we wanted the name to be the name of a location. We wanted it to sound like a place somewhere, obviously somewhere in the internet, not physically, but we are facing another problem now, and I'll tell you what it is. Because we want to build a casino strip like the one that you have in Vegas, and we want every casino to be different, and we want every casino to have different entertainment. We want to have a cyberpunk casino with cool DJs coming and playing music sets there. We want to have a classical casino. We want to have a Asian casino. We want to have a casino on the bottom of the sea. We want all these different cool experiences, environments that we can build on Unreal 5, because this is where we are really good at. I have a huge team of over 10 people that are solely building these different levels on Unreal, and they look phenomenal. Yeah. And what I wanted to do is, because I didn't want to act as the operator, I wanted to be the real estate and the builder of this world. And we wanted to give these different casinos to different operators that are already existing. Like we wanted to give Stake one casino, we wanted to give like Rollbit another casino, and all the rest of it. Now, the problem that these guys are having with this is that we are putting them all on the same island or same TokaCity. And they're like, for us, customer acquisition is super expensive. So you mean that I can drag a customer into my casino and then he can just walk out the door and find the better casino to go to? So this is what we're struggling with right now. We have a lot of interest from a lot of casinos, and I'm talking about big casinos. I'm talking like Bally's and like big players that want this next level of entertainment for their online sort of presence, but they don't want to be a part of the strip right now. So I'm hoping that this will change, because right now what we'll do is we'll build them their individual experiences, which they will market on their own. People would be able to go through to these different sort of casinos, but at some point I'm hoping that they will see the value in bridging all of these casinos and having this huge environment where people can just go around, follow different shows that are happening in the different casinos, same like people do in Vegas. This is what we want to bring them closer to, you know?
Yeah. I'm surprised that they don't see that vision, right? Because it feels like they're very stuck in that old traditional business model of like brick and mortar. Like, we got to get everybody to our one store, one location. And it's like you said, what is the Vegas Strip? People walk around, they go explore, right?
That's it.
And on the internet, you're never going to be able to, like, you're competing with everybody, right? The entire internet, billions of experiences in the world. So it's like, listen, you actually want all of these casinos together, all these experiences, because all these people are going to come to TokaCity and they're gonna spend time there. So if they come to Bally's for, this poker event or this blackjack event, right? But then Steak has this live streaming event after this concert. It's like you can just go over there, right? You want this um variety of experiences for people to have, to get engaged, to get immersed, because they're gonna, you're gonna retain them better. And also, if you're Bally's or whoever, you don't want to be responsible for making that content 24/7 365. You want the UGC. You want to benefit from the other people having events, because what are they going to do when they're done at Steak? They're going to come back over to Bally's for, dinner or whatever, or dancing. And I mean, that's how the real world works, and that's how these online metaverses are going to work, and they're going to work even better because it's 24/7, it's global, and you're not limited to the physical world. So I'm surprised that they don't see that, but if you
Dude,
build it, they will.
I wanna take you to pitches with me. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, Iceyyy, take it away, man. Tell them why they need this.
Yeah.
You know, because
Simple.
you've just told them like everything that I've been telling them. Even better. Hold on. Let me tell you this. Like, for instance, in Las Vegas, if you're going to the Bellagio, okay, the Bellagio has no sort of affiliation with you. You come to the Bellagio, you spend your money there, you go and walk around. What we are offering them is, because for us, the traceability of who brought the client in is way easier. So if they bring a customer to TokaCity, then they get an affiliate attribution for every cent that this customer spends in all of the other casinos, or for purchasing tickets for events, or for purchasing merch and stuff like that. And I've been telling them that as well, and they still fail to grasp it, just because this whole iGaming sector has been a little bit left behind. They're still stuck with the 2D slot machines, and like the most exciting thing that's happened is these like live girls spinning the roulette wheel and dealing cards. That's the most exciting thing, and we're 2023, for God's sake.
Well, that's the opportunity, right? And I understand it, because I would have the same, from the outside looking in, I would have the same opinion. When I first saw Decentraland, I'm like, what are these nerds doing? Like, what is this, Second Life, Sims whole thing, right? But then once you go in and experience it and make a friend, and now you and your friend are going to the casino, but then you're going to this park and you're going over here, and it's somebody's birthday and you show up to their birthday party. It's so much more of an immersive experience. You're exactly right, Todor. Like, we're past this 2D click button, gamble, like, bells and whistles. Like, the future is this more immersive, you know, real experience where it truly is an unlock when you can run around this casino and have that digital world, but then do all the things that you want to do and make friends. People are going to come around to it. That's why, like, despite the terrible graphics, I really Decentraland was sticky for me. I still have friends in Decentraland and I still get invited to parties, and it's like funny, right? I'm on my computer at my home, but I'm at this party. We're listening to music, we're dancing, we're chatting, and that's not gonna slow down. That's
Oh,
only
bro,
gonna speed up.
you're gonna love what we're building, man. Like this is so many levels above Decentraland and
Yeah, no,
like
I
the
know.
entertainment and
I've seen
everything.
it. I've seen it. It's a total vibe, and with things like, you know, the Apple glasses coming out and everything, like it's only gonna speed up.
Absolutely, man. Like so yeah. I mean, I hope that we're gonna get past this, and I'm sure that they'll see the value at some point. But right now, the whole thing is like why they're making so much money. All of these online casinos are just making so much money that they're like, why break something that's working? You know,
Yeah,
like. But now they're starting to see. They're starting to see because what's happening right now, every online casino looks exactly the same as the next one. It's the same
right.
website, it has the same games, absolutely same games. They just have the same game providers that provide them with their slots. Everything is absolutely the same. So they're just fighting for the same customers. They come on in, they give them a startup bonus, they spend that startup bonus, and they just migrate to the next casino. There's no
Yeah,
retention mechanism. And
yeah,
what you said there is the exact thing that we're chasing
yep,
is actually building up your meta persona where you dress up your avatar the way that you want, uh, wear the avatar that you see yourself coolest in, making friends, bringing in your friends, spending time with people. This is what it's all about. This is, and I can't believe that the only multiplayer aspect of casinos is like only in platforms like Decentraland
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
standard 2D casinos, there's no multiplayer. It's you
Right,
against the screen, and that's it.
right,
Nobody
right,
else.
right.
So yeah, we're really looking forward to bringing in this social element and getting people to communicate and like go around and play their favorite games together, and just even for streamers, bro. Like this is my biggest thing is like how much are we upgrading the communication between a streamer and his followers? I
Yeah.
mean, you can run around with your favorite streamer. You can play against them on the blackjack table. You can play against them on so many fucking different levels. It's crazy. So
I know it so well. You're so right. And it's such a massive opportunity because this is the future of digital experiences, digital casinos, online, you know, on just online worlds, really. Because I've had that. When I'm playing, you know, blackjack in Decentraland, I've had my viewers show up and it's a party, right? They show up,
yo,
they do
yeah, we
these
saw you're
emotes.
in here. Yeah.
It's so cool, man. It is that more personal kind of touch, and you can get right with your community. It's awesome. It's really awesome.
Yeah, so I'm glad that we sort of overlap on so many things now. One thing that I think that we're going to struggle with, and I want your opinion on that, is like, I mean, a lot of the current casino players are like, most of them, all right, not a lot, but most of them are like old school. How do
Yeah.
we convert these people who are used to this
Mm.
to a Web3 sort of crypto environment, which they'll like? Do you think there's a chance of that, or are we just focusing on like millennials, Gen Zs, and hopefully Gen Xs as well to get this thing going?
Yeah, I don't think there's much shot of converting the old timers, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to a space on Twitter yesterday, and one of the guests had shared like that his mom just realized that she could like digitally frame a photo or like get it
Oh my
printed
God.
and stuff, and like all this like craziness, and it's like that gap is too big, right?
Too big.
The best shot is this new crop of gamblers and casino goers, right? The kids. I mean, and we see it, right? Stake, kick, you know, online gambling and streaming is blowing up. There's huge interest in it because it's human nature, right? It's proven people like gambling, and the people that want to do that are gonna find it and going to enjoy it for better or worse. Please gamble responsibly, right?
That's it.
I've had my own issues with poker and things like that. But I still value the experience, and I love going to the casino. Like, it's beautiful. There's drinks. There's good energy, good people. It's a
It's
great,
fun. It's a way of
yeah,
having fun.
yeah. It's open 24/7. Like, so I think that it's like, what's that old like Mercedes or BMW adage? It's like, why do you show, how do you get people to buy your car when they're 20 or 30? And it's like, well, you start showing them commercials and ads when they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? You create that desire in them so that they grow up associating, like, oh, BMW is luxury, and I want that car, I want that desire, and they want it for their entire life, right? So again, you don't probably advertise to kids, but like, so much of the world already is the whole gotcha games, and you put the quarter in and you get a prize and everything, and it's all pretty colors. It's like, that's priming kids for casinos. Like, casinos use the same things.
I mean, it's, as I told you, I'm 43 years old, man, and I still love gaming, and I'm gonna go on gaming. So it's not for kids, it's for people like me. I can't wait for GTA 6 to come out. Like, I'm all about every new game that comes out. So if my generation is already in there, well, not all my friends, but like a good portion of my friends, game with me. My brothers, everybody, like they're like in their 30s. They're more like they're younger than me. They're your age. I have younger brothers. They're like 20 something, and the younger ones that's all they do. So we're not targeting kids, but there's enough generations that grew up with Nintendo and PlayStation controllers in their hands to appreciate this sort of environment that we're building, and to find it more entertaining than just clicking one button of a slot machine that's like 2D. And you know what? This is the most interesting thing that I'm seeing is we've spoken already to a few of those gambling or iGaming streamers.
Mm-hmm.
They love the idea of this environment because to them, all of them are coming from an actual video gaming streaming background. None of them started streaming slot machines. I mean, slot machines are the easiest to monetize because the stake will come over and they'll put some money in your hand directly if you have like good viewers and you start streaming their stuff. But all of them love the idea of having an environment where they can run around, they can showcase different things. So this is what we're betting on our marketing strategy and customer acquisition, is to have these gambling streamers showcase our
100%.
environment in a setting like that.
100%. I mean, casinos are the oldest playbook in the book, and the loop, it's so addictive that, like, once people get in, the business model is there, right? And also because it's fun, people enjoy it. So all you have to do is add promotions, add giveaways, and sign up bonuses and rewards and all sorts of stuff. Like, this is what traditional casinos do, this is what online casinos do. But also that new experience. Again, I always come back to like that new experience, that social experience where you can meet your friends and connect with people. I believe the world has been going digital for a long time and only going to get more digital. We need more of these digital environments and spaces. So I'm excited for what you're building.
Bro, let me just say, I spent $300 on a fucking skin for Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah.
And I didn't even spend it directly for that. They have a gambling sort of algorithm in there. So what it is okay, so like for this particular pack, okay, you have like 7 different items. Of course, you have a knife, a bomb, like a grenade, a smoke bomb, blah, 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 all the bullshit stuff. And the coolest things are, of course, the skin of the avatar and the main weapon,
Yeah.
So you bet the first one, it's like a wheel of fortune. You bet 100 of their tokens. Of course, you buy the in-game currency from your Apple App Store. You buy the in-game currency. So for 100 of their coins, I get 1 spin. Of course, the first thing you get is like the grenade or the smoke bomb or something like that. That's nothing. The second one is 200. the third spin, and every time you hit something, it comes out of the board, So you have to, in order, of course, you get they have the lowest chance of getting the avatar skin or the top weapon, So you have to spend double of what you spend already. So I ended up spending $300 to get the skin because I really love the skin
Yeah.
and that. So it's a gambling thing that's already in there, and all these
Yeah.
mystery boxes and stuff like that you unlock. This is
Yeah.
all of it just fits in so well with a hybrid like that.
It's all gamification, and casinos have perfected that model of gamification. We got to play COD Mobile sometime, man. I love COD Mobile.
Oh
I'm
my God.
addicted to COD Mobile. It's one of the
Right?
best games. Yeah.
I got one of those backbone joysticks, man. I don't know if you
Nice.
play it on the screen, but the backbone is a game changer for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, bro, it's a different level. It just takes the game to a different level.
Okay, I'll have to try it. I play on my iPad because I like a little bit bigger of a screen.
Oh, it's right. I play on my phone. This is why I guess you can't put the controller on the iPad, but it's super cool, man. I love it.
Yeah, no, man, I love COD Mobile. That was a game actually that like brought me back into gaming, and I was addicted for I've been playing for like 4 years now. I love COD Mobile.
It's super good, bro. Like for the mobile devices and for the iOS, there's no better game than this.
I agree.
By far.
I agree.
I mean, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, it's so good to get validation from someone like you who is just like finishing my sentences and like really understanding what we're building, bro. But can I just have like one question before we go? Like,
Please.
what are your like top 3 favorite Web3 games because I mean we talked about Decentraland, right? It's cool, but like spending time there with those graphics, it's really painful at times for somebody that like enjoys good visuals. There's some people that don't give a shit about like the graphics, it's not that important to them. But for me, graphics are like 80% of the experience. I take in the world through my eyes, so graphics are super important to me.
Yeah.
So what other ones do you have that I can try and sort of get more into the whole Web3 scene?
So by far the most exciting game that I'm looking forward to is Shrapnel. Shrapnel is a first-person shooter extraction game. So similar to Escape from Tarkov, where it's that kind of game loop. They've got early access coming out this December, actually. So not many people have had a chance to play the game. There was some private play tests at GDC, and I actually was invited out to their studio earlier this month to get like a proper play test. I got to play for like 3 hours, and the game is phenomenal. Graphics, engine, movement, the game loop, the team that's building it, super passionate, super veteran industry game builders. I couldn't be more excited for Shrapnel. I think what they're doing on a marketing standpoint is really fantastic. Their crypto integration, which is very important to me, is top notch. They recently launched a token, but they're doing a lot of things with UGC. They've got a lot of things that are planned, but just the core game loop with it loading into the sacrifice zone and having to collect Sigma, which is this material that is like come from this asteroid that hit the moon and is like having all these effects on the world, on the planet. There's a lot of lore and backstory there, which is also important to the game.
Of course.
So there's a lot of things that they're doing right, a lot of things that are exciting. I can't wait for people to play the game. It's an extraction shooter, so I think that you'll enjoy that. Different from the battle royales that give you that excitement and dopamine of like getting a victory and the win. But Shrapnel is fantastic. Keep an eye out on that.
Would it have some kind of a play to earn element to it? Is there going to be something where, that Sigma or Stigma or whatever it is, would you be able to monetize that in any way? Like,
So I don't know too much about like that side of the economy with Sigma and like other things in the game where like there's going to be these awesome skins and all that. But I do know that they're going to be doing like user generated content maps and user generated content skins and all sorts of different stuff like that. Kind of like if you ever played Tony Hawk Pro Skater and you could build your own skate park kind of
I
thing.
remember that. Yeah, that was cool.
Yes, they're gonna have that where that is gonna be hosted, I believe, on like their content nodes, and you know the most popular maps and the most popular skins. It's all gonna be incentivized and rewarded in their Shrap token, and then of course the Shrap token is you know used in their marketplace and all that stuff. So there's some really interesting ways that they're integrating that earning aspect and incentivization. I'm sure that there will be, you might have seen the clip from like Dr. Disrespect talking about Dead Drop, where it's like, hey, if you find some really rare item in the game and you got to extract with it, that's going to be really exciting content. Like, can you get out with
Oh
this
yeah.
$50,000 item or whatnot? So the high stakes, high reward aspect of an extraction type game is really exciting. So I'm sure they'll have some aspects of that.
So it's like the Call of Duty DMZ, basically. You get in,
Exactly.
you get in some loot, you gotta extract it. This is super cool, bro. And then if there's a marketplace for the stuff that you extract, this is a way of actually monetizing this. This would be super cool. People would like love to go. The whole treasure hunt feeling that you're in
Yes.
there, you're playing, you're getting all this entertainment, but there's an option that you find something that you can actually trade and get real money for. Oh
Yeah.
my God, people will go nuts for that.
It's the future. It's the future of the internet. That's what crypto
Absolutely.
unlocks. That's what blockchain unlocks. And that's why we're here, right? The other game, like that's by far the one that I'm most excited for, man, right? If I had to give you top three, I would say I'm really excited for Illuvium. I'm not so much an auto battler guy, so their auto battler, like I probably won't be playing that for hours and hours on end, but they do have this open world concept. They call it their overworld, and man, is it beautiful. Is it like just an incredible experience jumping in there. They've got huge maps. It is lacking a little bit of content, but I think that they're going to be designing that content. I was telling them like, you guys should make it an extraction type shooter game with like a really tight loop. But I'm really excited for what they're building. And then I'd probably have to put Big Time for my number third pick. I really like Big Time. Again, it's like this it's this RPG style game where you can play with your friends, get in there, you know, run dungeons and beat bosses and all that stuff. And you know, you get NFT drops, you get rewards within the game. So it's like it's that dopamine hit of like you beat a boss and something drops and you're like, oh, this is amazing, this is rare, or this is epic or legendary. They've got beautiful graphics as well, really, really interesting, compelling lore and backstory. Again, all of these games are like native Web3 game builders who really care about the gameplay, but also are experimenting with the crypto side of things and integrating them in really compelling ways. So that's what gets me excited.
This is it, man. This is where this is all going. You know,
Yeah.
we're really trying to hit the nail over the head now with our casino verse, because that's like trying to get right in there. But all these games that you're talking about, I could just imagine if Diablo had all the items that you get
Yeah.
are like NFTs, and there's a marketplace which you can trade for like real crypto and just like trade. I mean, there were, remember they banned all these websites
Yeah.
that actually allowed this to happen at some point. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the people or the public have already showed you that this is what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, that is why these websites came up, because people had the need to trade with their items. They want to feel like these products or items are not just digital, they're like physical, and you can actually trade with them.
It's so obvious, Todor. It's like, you know, but we understand the adoption curve, right? Back in 2007, 2008, no one wanted to put their credit card into Amazon to buy something, right? Or it was like, okay, Amazon, cool, I can get books. Like, what do I need books for? You know? But like the people that saw the opportunity was like, no, it's starting with books. And once you put your credit card on, you're going to be able to use it indefinitely, forever, for everything, for anything. And massive businesses were built. But you know what, Todor? It takes time. It takes
It
time to
does,
build the
man.
infrastructure. It takes time to onboard people and tweak the user experience to get it right. But that's what's exciting about the opportunity of Web3 and Web3 gaming, is that the people that are building here, that see this vision, see where the puck is going, are going to be massive winners. And you can participate in these ecosystems, not financial advice, trade responsibly, but there's massive opportunities here every single day.
Absolutely, man. And see, one thing that's actually bothering me a little bit is that that I'm feeling a bit scared that we might be a little bit too early for the party. That's it's also something that we've seen happening. We all remember like MySpace and all that stuff that went through, and then Facebook swoops in and takes up everything that was sort of laid down as foundations by these companies. So I don't want TokaCity to be the MySpace of the
Yeah.
casino verse style gambling. This is something that scares me a little bit, but I think that we're very, with what we're doing, the one thing that we really solved is, because Unreal, whenever you develop something on it, it becomes volume wise the game. You know how much gigabytes Call of Duty is on your PlayStation or your PC. It takes up 100 gigabytes. So not everybody's going to be downloading that stuff. And the streaming for me is actually where we are really hitting the nail on the head. This is where the future is. This is no downloads, no waiting time. We update the system on our side. You don't have any updates to take care of. You just go in and enjoy the game, as long as you have a device that has a screen and internet connection. That's it. So I'm hoping that, we're actually bridging a few gaps here, and people would love what we're building.
I love that, man. Let me just say real quick, I love that, because that tells me that you're practical, and you're focused on like the development and the experience, and you're freaking honest to say that, like, hey, I'm concerned about this, I don't know, because no one ever knows, right? There's no way for you to actually know if you're gonna be right. It's always a chance. And that's what entrepreneurship is. That's what these new frontiers are. Like, yeah, sure, Jeff Bezos, like, it makes a lot of sense, the everything store, right? But you still have to execute. You still have to get lucky. You still have to, the market has to have the right timing and stuff like that. So there's no way for, I hate it when people come on and they're like, this is what's going to happen and we're going to do it. And trust me, bro. It's like the fact that you're questioning and thinking about it at that level and then saying it publicly shows that you're a genuine builder, and like you're here for the right reasons and you're thinking about it the right way. If you didn't think that or feel that way, I would be concerned. I'd be like, I don't know, man, like, okay, that sounds good, but like, are you just a salesman, doing your thing, right? But like, you're an actual builder. So that makes me excited about what you're doing. Cause like, we're all have that, right? It's like, I think as a content creator, Web3 gaming is a massive opportunity, but like, is it a massive opportunity in the next year or two, or is it going to take me 10 years of doing content because we're too early or whatnot? But, that's what we're here for. And, high risk, high reward, right?
That's it, man. This is why I decided, hey, because, we could spend a long time asking ourselves, hey, why is anybody fucking doing this? Because I'm coming from a video gaming background, not only as a gamer, but me and my team have built a lot of experiences for some of the big video games around. Like, we were 3D designers. This is how we're so acquainted with Unreal 5. We didn't just think one day, hey, why don't we just build an Unreal 5 team? Like, it doesn't happen like this. We have experience in it. But I saw the opportunity here. I was like, holy shit, online gaming is just so left out of the game. Let's try and bridge video gaming and online gambling and see what happens. Whether we're going to be right, I don't know. Whether now's the time, I don't know. But for sure, we're building something that looks good. We're getting a lot of validation, thankfully, from people like you who know exactly what I'm talking about, but from people in the industry as well. People are seeing it and are going like, fuck, guys, you really have done something really cool. this could actually work. So, validation like this is making me feel like we're on the right track, but we still have to prove it, man. This is what it's all about. And whether we are on time, as you said something very important, luck. I never liked that word, but it's a fucking part of everything, man. The right timing is fucking luck.
That's
all it is.
What is it like? Opportunity is like, or success is opportunity meeting preparation, and like opportunity is sometimes luck. It's sometimes timing. But like all we can do is prepare and build and do the right things. And if the stars align, massive things can happen, right? You have that unlock kind of moment. Like Amazon would have never been successful if a lot of the infrastructure for the internet and Wi-Fi and all these things wasn't put in place. So there's a lot of things that are outside of your control. All you can do is build the best game, build the best experience, and build the best business around it to make that sustainable and give yourself the best chance at success. And then if we're right about market and timing and digital and all that stuff, it'll align, which I think it will, man. I mean, you're so right. You're already starting with what exists in the traditional world with casinos. There's online casinos, but there's nothing that gives you that full immersive experience. And I can speak firsthand that when I had that experience, it was really captivating. And why would I want to get in my car and drive to the casino and park and walk and deal with these people and whatnot when I can just log in and have that same experience in a much better way? So like all the boxes are being checked. So I'm excited.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Amazon so many times, man, because my main business, I run an agency called Hyperzen, and this is the bread and butter. We are an Amazon agency. So cool. I've been using all the money that we actually make there to put into bootstrapping this TokaCity project. Respect. And whether it's going to work or not, we don't know. We've got some investors coming on board now, but we bootstrapped it for over 12 months. We have a high burn rate. We've been into development for 18 months. So I really believe that we're building something sustainable, and it's going to be something good, and people are going to love it. By the way, I really want you to come and we can go in the casino together and just run around at some point. And I really want you to experience it, not only through the videos, but to actually give me your feedback on the game itself. This would be amazing if
we're already going to set that up. I'm excited for it.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, thank you for sharing all the valuable insight. Thank you for telling us about your journey. It's awesome. So I'm really looking forward to you coming in and telling us what you think about the actual experience within TokaCity.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait. Keep building, keep getting it out there, and happy to support in any way, because I'm a DGen. I'm a crypto DGen. So crypto casinos are perfect for me. That's how I got in the space. And I'll be honest, I've been looking for something with better graphics, more fidelity, more of an immersive experience. So looking forward to it.
Awesome.